well-known anti-gay activist is out of jail and talking about his arrest for a hate crime. Richard Sheridan is accused of desecrating a Dallas landmark. He won't admit he did it and won't really deny he did it either. He says, regardless, it's not a hate crime. Richard Ray has the interview you will see only on Fox 4 News. Richard.
Good evening, Steve. Richard Sheridan is a very familiar face at Dallas City Council meetings, at DISD school board meetings, at Commissioner's Court. And he has run for mayor before, but this time his campaign is getting a lot more attention for a vandalism crime that he's accused of.
Jesus was unjustly persecuted, and I'm being unjustly persecuted.
Jailed on Friday, out Sunday morning, tonight, part of a mayoral forum at Fair Park, with fellow candidates, incumbent Mike Rawlings and Marcos Ronquillo. But 68-year-old Richard Sheridan is no stranger to controversy. He calls himself an extremist.
Thrown out of City Hall the most in the last 12 years, banned for 6 months and 1 year for speaking in front of the Commissioner's Court.
But the outspoken anti-gay marriage activist now faces criminal charges, a state jail felony for acts of vandalism last June, tagging LGBT landmarks with 666, Mark of the Beast, the Legacy of Love monument in Oak Lawn, and the Cathedral of Hope, the nation's largest gay and lesbian church.
I may or may not have done it.
Sheridan says he knows who's responsible for the taggings, but stops there. Did you do it or didn't you do it?
I'm not being coy with you. I'm answering your question.
Okay. Oh, I don't mean to offend you.
I'm answering you. Well, you are offending. You're being offensive. You want me to say I did it? Is that what you want me to say? I'm saying I'm not saying whether I did or didn't do it. That's going to be in a court of law. I'm willing to risk going to prison for 10 years, standing on the side of righteousness.
Last Friday, Sheridan's prior activism got him uninvited from another mayoral forum by the Dallas Bar Association.
There were concerns that were raised about past conduct at other venues, other forums.
Attorney Rob Crane says the decision was made before Sheridan's arrest, and in part because he's a write-in candidate, which organizers were not aware of.
The arrest just reinforced that what we were doing was the right decision.
Sheridan calls last summer's 666 taggings an act of love, a biblical warning. A misdemeanor, he says, might be appropriate, but not a felony, and not a hate crime.
Trial by jury, it will be proven that whoever did it, and if they're going to stick with me, it wasn't a hate crime, because I'm not a hateful person.
Sheridan and Rob Crane did have a phone conversation for the first time today, and both say that it was a cordial conversation. Sheridan told Crane that he will likely be at tomorrow's forum. It's at noon at the Dallas Bar Association. Says he'll be outside on the sidewalk, Steve, and passing out his flyers.
All right, Rich, I think I would have bet when he said, you want me to say I did it, I'd say, yeah, if you did it, I want you to say. After listening to the interview, did he do it, or is this really a not so well orchestrated act to maybe get more name recognition for the mayor's race?
Despite that little clip we ran when he seemed to get real irritated with me, it was basically a pretty cordial conversation with me, but I did leave confused a little bit because he seemed to say he did it a couple times, but then he said no, he wasn't going to say that, but that he was the spokesperson for whoever did it. That, I think, we could all agree on. He says he knows who did it, and he's the spokesperson for who did it.
Okay. I don't know if it's any clearer, Rich, but we get it. Okay, thank you very much. Good report. Thanks.